You've got the best record in the world, and you're going for whatever. How many wins do you want to rack up? 110, 111, 112, 113. You start preparing for October baseball. Play your competitive games like you will this weekend against St. Louis. But what do you think about the rotation for L.A., and how is it going to line up for Dave Roberts? I'll also mention, Gonsolin's hurt right now, but Dustin May and Tony Gonsolin, they've even talked about it sometimes over the years. Like, they've gotten bounced around quite a bit. Are they going to be starters? Are they going to be hybrid guys? What do you think about the Dodgers' pitching plans?
Well, that's just it. Dave Roberts has options. We saw him close a World Series with Urias in 2020, right? We know that Heaney can pitch out of the bullpen. You know May can pitch out of the bullpen. Gonsolin can pitch out. So he's got a lot of options. I think what we have to do is look at the Dodgers a little bit differently, because it's a team, as good as their starting pitching has been, I think it's been the best statistically in baseball. Dave Roberts doesn't use it like a traditional rotation. Just go back and look what he's done in the postseason. He's managed 77 games in the postseason with the Dodgers. His relief pitchers have more wins than his starting pitchers. 6 times in 77 games. That's it. His starter has gone through the lineup 3 times. 7 innings, only 10 out of 77 starts, 0 complete games. This is not the Dodgers of Tommy Lasorda. Oh, by the way, you want to compare the two of them, by the way? Tommy Lasorda, when he managed the Dodgers, fewer games, 64 games, but look at all the wins from the starting pitchers. Relief pitchers weren't getting decisions back in the game. Starters were staying in the game, 3rd time through, 1,000,000 times around, right? So it's a completely different game. The job now for the Dodger rotation is not Tommy Lasorda's rotation, go win the game for me. It's manage the game for the first 2 times through the lineup, and we've got enough arms in the bullpen, and our offense is going to score some point, right? That's relentless, their offense. So we look at the Dodgers and we try to find a flaw in this team, because, Pedro, they're the best team in baseball. I don't see a flaw. And if you want to say it's the back of the rotation, I think you're barking up the wrong tree, because that's not how they're designed to win games.
You know exactly the plan. Is the last 2 are going to piggyback each other, and then they're going to fly in every arm that they have in the bullpen, and they have some of the best arms in all of baseball. I think the Dodgers are as deep in the bullpen and as deep in the rotation as they are as a team. Offensively, defensively, they have everything they need. Same thing in the bullpen, same thing in the starting rotation. Every time you see one of those Dodgers starting pitchers, it's like a #1 ace. And you look at the stuff, it's a #1 stuff. Buehler's not there, but every one of them that you can point a finger at has #1 stuff.
But they're not going 7 innings.
No, they're not, and they don't need to, because first of all, the offense is going to be there. The defense is going to be there. They have a mighty bullpen that you can put up there with just literally anybody. And they have a starting rotation that can beat you at any point. If you show any weakness against the Dodgers, one of those starters will go 7 on you, or will probably blank you, like Urias and May and all those guys are capable of doing anything. Kershaw, I don't have anything to say about Kershaw. He would do whatever. And then you can throw the mighty bullpen at you. You use the first 3 that you have, and then you can piggyback the other 2, and then throw the mighty bullpen at you. Here, deal with that.
But that's very different from the Mets, I will say, because that's what's interesting. Buck Showalter's going to look at the postseason and say, as much as I can get out of DeGrom, Scherzer, even Bassett to an extent, can go pretty deep for them. It could be a very different strategy from, and that's the 2nd best record in the National League right now.
It is. The Mets are zigging, everybody else is zagging, because we talked about their offense. It's built on rallies, putting the ball in play. They're great at putting the ball in play. Singles, stolen bases, doubles, once in a while the home run. Dodgers are going to bang you. They're hit home runs, right? So the Mets have to win, I think, on their starting pitching. It's like when they give the ball to DeGrom and Scherzer, it's almost a must-win situation. Because if the other team wins that game, it's like a 1.5 to beat one of those big guys. I remember Lou Piniella telling me that when he had Randy Johnson in Seattle. Like, if Randy took the ball in the postseason game and lost, which he did against Baltimore, he said that, like, it hurt twice as much as a regular loss. When you throw your ace and come out of it with an L, that really hurts.
If they do what they're supposed to do on the other end, more of a rested bullpen, don't have to use as many of the bullpen arms, use the higher leverage guys, and less looks for the offense against those bullpen arms in an extended series. We've seen that burn even the Dodgers at times, right? Going to the same guys over and over in the bullpen.
But you have to be careful, because Scherzer is going to be matched up with a top-notch starting pitcher.
Sure.
DeGrom is going to be matched up with someone that's going to be a top-notch pitcher. Some of the teams that they're going to be facing are going to be cream of the crop. They're going to be like the team that they're going to be facing. And those guys are going to make it difficult on good pitching, on mediocre pitching, on great pitching, anybody. It's just a matter of who can hold for the longest out there and who can hold who. But those teams are going to be at the same level that the Mets are, and the Mets are going to need to rely on everybody to chip in. They're going to need all the base hits they can get from the little men, and they're going to need all the power they can get from Alonso and Lindor, because their starting pitcher, Scherzer, DeGrom, Bassett, are solid. They're solid, but they're going to be really put to the test in the postseason games by those really, really good teams that are relentless, that don't let you get away with mistakes, especially knowing how much is at stake.
Just like we say, you're facing better pitching in the postseason. You're facing better lineups, too. So you're going to have to grind through.
You get that
Good
right.
Call. Yeah.
You get
It's going to be
that
the old
right.
school, hey, let's drive up the pitch count. Let's get him out of the game.
Yeah.
Let's see him third or fourth time through the whole deal.